Shut up and sit down.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Midnight Showing. I'm Dan Connors.
And I'm Bayless Tunnicliffe.
This episode, we saw the Lego Movie 2.
The second part.
Oh, yeah.
How could you forget that? I know when we were going in.
It's so important.
Yeah, when we were going in, we thought we had missed the first part. So, I thought there was a
Oh,
Lego
yeah,
Movie
because
2.
you said it was... No, you said it was the Lego Movie 2, and we missed part 1 of 2.
Yeah.
Wait,
So I
yeah.
thought we hadn't seen Lego Movie 2, the first part.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and then the second part.
Yeah, I thought it was that big of a movie, and I was like, oh, well, we're going to have a fun ride here, because I've seen the first one, but I haven't seen the first part.
The first part of the second one.
Yeah, but turned out all right. Daniel, you didn't see the first one.
No, I haven't seen the first one. I didn't see the Batman one either. I really wanted to see the Batman one.
So, as someone who didn't see the first one, what did you think of the story?
I didn't go into this expecting having to have seen the previous. That's why I was just fine with seeing this for the show. Like, I don't know. Like, it just seemed like one of those things that it didn't really matter. Especially because it's been on the internet so much. Like, I already knew, like, oh, Chris Pratt voices Emmett, and then there's this, like, goth girl that, like, is actually, like, you know, not really hard and all this stuff. But, so I got the gist of it. I mean, there was the two references where they're like, he saved the universe or whatever that I didn't get. But for the most part, like, I don't really think I needed to see the previous one.
I think the only confusing part of this movie that would have been confusing for me if I hadn't seen the first one was just the part, like the fact that you go outside of their Lego world so much.
That I did not expect that at all.
Yeah.
I thought it was fully Lego.
No.
And then there was like, oh, so that's in the first one.
The first one is almost entirely Lego, and there's only one instance, or like maybe like a 2 to 5 minute scene that's kind of spread through Lego that the son is talking to the dad, and his dad's the main villain. So you know the guy who drives off on a golf cart at the beginning? He's like mega ultra boss. And,
I remember that from the trailer.
Yeah. And so he was the bad guy for the first one, and then in this one he takes much less. He doesn't even exist in this movie, which is hilarious. I love that he kept on like being the voice in the back. Like it's like, can you help me out?
Will Ferrell in the back.
Yeah. Honey, where are my pants? Anyway, so enough about the first one. We're talking about the second one here. You came for the second part.
The second part. To the second part.
To the second the second part. I gotta admit, the music in this one was just phenomenal. I mean, there were so many bangers that were just fantastic.
Yeah, I didn't expect that at all. I didn't expect any musical numbers.
There were a lot of them.
Yeah, like I didn't expect that at all.
Yeah, I thought like after the first two, I'm like, oh, they just spent all their money for the music.
Yeah.
And then they kept coming out with more and more.
Didn't they make like an insane amount from the first one?
Yeah, but I just figured, why would you keep spending more money on music, you know? I mean,
I don't know.
It was a good addition. I just figured that they would have a similar budget or similar style to the first one, which I'm glad. And this is one of my biggest points is that I think that this movie was fantastic. It was probably the best sequel I've ever seen in my life. I have never come to...
Well, that's because you haven't seen Lord of the Rings. So.
Shut up. Okay, we have to bring this up now. But like I was surprised about how little it was so fresh, you know. It wasn't the same thing as the previous one, and it wasn't different in a bad way. I loved every bit of it. I thought it was hilarious, both of them, and I think they're equally good. That's that's my biggest point, is that this was a great movie because it was good.
Yeah, it seemed fun. Okay, that's about it.
Okay.
I mean, like, from what I was expecting, like, it was what I was expecting. Like, I went in and I was like, okay, it's probably just going to be a bunch of, like...
Just let me cut you off real quick and just say, the way you said that seemed so robotic. It seemed like other people were having fun. Like, it was like you observed people like, having fun.
It was pretty much exactly what I expected.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how to say it.
It's okay here. No one's going to judge you. We're not going to persecute you.
It was, like, perfectly well-timed jokes on most of them. Like, I knew that the story had to be pretty good. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I got what I expected.
Okay.
I don't know. Like,
so let's start here then. Did you like the movie?
Yeah, I don't think I didn't love it. Like I'll say
Okay.
that. I mean, I can. Okay, it was.
We're done here.
It was incredibly well made. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Like the actual
The production
storyline,
value
the
kind of
production,
thing.
all that stuff. They put heart into it. They put like
Yeah.
they obviously took time writing and like really taking care of the characters and like
Yeah.
the jokes for the kids and the adults and the parents and the teenagers. Like, you know, they definitely catered it towards everybody. It's almost like a Pixar-esque where, you know, I do think anyone could have went in and liked that movie.
Yeah.
Which is what I've heard from the first one too. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't love it though.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just one of those ones, you know. I
Yeah.
saw it and I enjoyed it. And
It
I
was
like,
it was
yeah.
fun, but it wasn't anything you.
I wouldn't just, I guess right off the bat, I wouldn't rewatch it unless I was just showing it to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
I'm not just gonna just sit down and rewatch it because I wanted to watch it already. But no, it was overall incredibly well made, especially the animation. Like holy crap.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that. Like I had seen like you know the trailer of the first one.
Yeah.
And the animation looks like, oh yeah, that looks like Lego, you know,
Uh-huh.
the blocks moving. But like I don't know if they upped it from the first
I
one.
think it was a little bit up.
Yeah, because like the movement was like crazy fluid.
Yeah.
But not fluid because it was Lego.
Because it was Lego.
Like it looked
Yeah.
like, you know, whatever. It looked like somebody, especially
Yeah.
when they were in the real life part where it was under the dryer thing.
Yeah.
Like that was crazy. The CGI of the facial expressions, the movements, the colors, and like the flame Legos. Like
Yeah.
you know, that looked exactly like Lego.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
That's why I think that in between the animation for the last movie and this movie was different because it was a little less Lego in this one, right? I mean, you still can tell it's Lego.
Yeah.
But they move, yeah, like you said, fluid.
Oh, like more CGI.
It feels more like it feels less like they're pushing that like, hey, it's Lego in the sense because they've already done that.
Yeah.
Every piece in this movie is a Lego
Yeah,
piece. You
and
know,
they already sold people
I mean-
on like we're making a movie about Lego.
they did have non-Lego, those like more human-looking people. Those were not Lego, right? Lego did not make those people, right?
Oh, I think they're part of Duplo. Like
It's
I think
Duplo.
that's the kids' version of Lego.
Oh.
The big blocky ones when they invade it right at the beginning. The big block.
I
ones,
see. Yeah.
They're for like kids.
I see.
They're either part of that, or they're they might actually be the I don't remember what they call them, but the girly Legos that they just introduced, where it's just like all about like friends and whatever. I don't know. I just
Why do girls need different Legos? This is messed up, man.
I think it might be that too.
Okay.
Because there is like there's more humanoid Lego
Yeah.
figures and
And that would make sense because it's it's his sister who's coming in
yeah,
and we didn't
because
see.
I know they made that. There was like a more like
Yeah.
like 12-year-old girl based Lego sets,
Mhm.
and I think that they might
That
be
came
from that.
with glitter included.
Either that or they're from Duplo, but
I
I don't
see.
think so because I think Duplo is just the bigger blocks.
Yeah. So I mean, why? And plus, why would they make the small people for those huge blocks?
Yeah, and for kids too.
Yeah. Anyway, enough about the toys. It was fun. I really liked it. I thought that I gotta admit I wanted to see more Bruce Willis.
Yeah,
Bruce Willis was,
definitely
hilarious.
the best part. That was definitely the best.
When like I thought that they were just gonna when you first see him, he's just like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, he's in the bathtub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like what is that place? It's for retiring or like spa treatment for like celebrities. There's celebrities in there.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden she's going through the freaking like
The air
the
duct.
air ducts, and he's like, I don't live up here. I just tend to come up here a lot.
Yeah, I tend to be in air ducts a lot. I definitely don't.
Yeah. I'm just gonna scoot on by you here. God, I just was cracking up
Yeah,
at that
you
part.
lost it at that.
Yeah, and I knew you could tell because like then I settled myself down after like 30 to 45 seconds, and then I thought about it again.
Yeah.
And I just kept laughing. I don't know. There was a lot of parts that just were just crazy funny. When Batman was flossing, I lost it at that too.
Yeah.
I was thinking of letting you know, but I'm like, no, he definitely saw. Dude, this was just a funny.
Well, yeah, they did. There was definitely a lot of, well, not adult based, but like more, like older kid based
I
humor.
think that what you said about both about heart and about inclusion of all audiences. I mean,
Yeah.
there was really for everyone. You know,
Well,
there
even
was
right at the end where he's like, "I'm Back to the Futuring," and he's like, "What's Back to the Future?"
Yeah.
He said, "It's something for older kids to watch."
Yeah.
Like it's like that's leaning towards the little kids by saying like,
Yeah.
"You don't get they're." It's so meta that they're self-aware
Yeah.
that they're not gonna get it.
Yeah.
But they tell them when you get older, you'll see it and you'll get this reference when you
Yeah.
watch this movie again.
Yeah.
Like, but then you have the teenage ones of like,
God.
like most of the Batman lines were kind of like that.
Yeah.
They were kind of more like older teenage kind of jokes.
Yeah. Gosh, what was it? There's something about adolescence. Like it was like a metaphor for abandoning his imagination in adolescence.
Yeah, it was when Rex was fighting him under the dryer. He was like, "This isn't even happening. It's just in like an adolescent subconscious or something like that." Yeah, it was very aware. Like it was way more aware than I thought it would
Yeah.
be. And also way more references than I thought they were allowed to have. Like, well, I guess it was Warner Brothers.
So they own like basically half the movies ever.
Yeah, because they have DCE and they had like Gandalf, and Abe Lincoln isn't like, that's not a copyrighted anything, but like I was like, why? Okay, Abe Lincoln's in there.
He was in the previous movie.
Back to the Future. You know, there was a lot of references that I didn't see coming.
Yeah.
Like it was like we were watching a Lego version of like Ready Player One or something.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
That's true.
We're just
That's
having a bunch of references.
Yeah. Gosh, I loved Rex. I loved Rex as a kid.
I hated him.
Really?
Yeah, that was my biggest pet
God.
peeve. Because, okay, I know it's obviously just because I'm an adult and I'm not like a kid where I'm like, who's this guy? But as soon as I heard him, I was like, why is Chris Pratt voicing another guy in the movie?
Oh, I knew he was voicing.
Yeah,
it
but I
too.
mean, then it just bothered me. I was like, okay, now it's just gonna be
Jeez,
like,
man, you can't just settle down.
I know, I don't know.
Like,
It just
enjoy it a
bothered
little.
me. Like,
Live a
it's-
little, dude.
Like at least just like I don't know, have another voice actor voice him or put some sort of distortion on Chris Pratt's voice until it gets to that point, and then he's like, oh, I'm actually like he was just so obvious to me, which I know it's for kids and you know whatever, but like I couldn't get past it. It was just so obvious.
So
that,
I had no idea that like I knew it was Chris Pratt's voice.
Yeah.
I just thought he was voicing another character.
I knew they had a reason for that. There's no reason they would just put him as two main characters in the movie.
I mean, now seeing the story, I
Yeah.
get it. I understand now.
As soon as I heard his voice, I was like, okay, so this is gonna be some sort of thing where it's like, you know, I didn't go time travel. I went to, they just had two pieces of Emmett, like two.
Oh, there was two
like,
Emmett
figurines
guys, yeah,
or something. Somehow, you know, which I mean,
they were linked. You know, I mean,
Whatever.
This was a lot of.
I definitely went to like this is the same person, like character. Which I know, I know.
I didn't get
it's
it.
Whatever. You're not supposed to think that. It just
I didn't get it.
It went into my head and it just kind of ruined that character for me. Because then he just got annoying. Because it was just like, okay, he's obviously. I shouldn't say obviously because it probably is just.
You're literally talking to someone who has admitted multiple times
I know,
that
I
I
know.
didn't get it,
Well,
and you're
yeah.
literally sitting here like, you'd have to be an idiot not to have gotten it.
I know.
And
I
I'm
keep
like,
saying
look,
obviously.
dude.
No, I mean like, I just couldn't get past noticing it, and then he just became more annoying the more he was on screen to me. Like, yeah, he had funny jokes, like the whole race car part through the weird alien planet. And
Yeah.
like just other stuff. Like he had good one-liners, but like as a full character, anytime he was on, he just kind of bothered me. He just seemed in the way. I don't know.
I like that he lifted up Emmett. You know, gave Emmett the self-confidence that he needed. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but it was in the wrong direction. Like,
He didn't know that.
well, yeah, but I mean, we know it now.
Yeah, we know it now, but you know, I don't know. I liked him throughout the movie because I thought he was a good guy, and then plot twist. But I still think they redeemed him at the end. They're like, this is a pretty badass way to die.
Oh yeah, with the Back to the Future.
Yeah.
He's just holding the flux capacitor. Like it was just in his pocket. He's like, I'm just gonna go back in time again.
But like,
yeah, I don't know. He just kind of bothered me.
God, my favorite line of his was when he was talking about like the cookie. He was like eating a cookie, but it was so hard
And so
that,
dense that it wasn't actually a cookie.
It was a chainsaw. I don't know, man. I might be a kid, but I laughed at a lot of the kid jokes. Like I could tell that they were kid jokes, and I was still laughing. Like I don't know.
There was a couple really good ones. What was it? Oh, I lost it at the wedding where he was like introducing all the people that she brought as like friends to have during the ceremony. And she's like, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And I just lost it.
I didn't even really know who that was.
She's one of the Supreme Court justices. like the United States Supreme Court. Yeah, I lost it at that one. Yeah, I don't have another thought point. It was just one of those ones for me that there's no specific, like, well, here, let's just do it now. Like, because I don't really have a selected scene.
Oh, you want to do it now? Oh, wow.
Well, I'm about to talk about it. So selected scene is like, if somebody talks about this movie to you, what's the scene that you immediately remember from when you watched it?
Yeah.
I don't, like, even just right now, like, I can't remember any of the good jokes that I really liked. I can't just pick out a scene. I mean, I can pick out ones, obviously, because I have a memory. I can pick out ones that I just remember from seeing it, but I don't have one that's just like that whole sequence.
You know, and I'll agree with you. I'll second it. I'll agree with you. I don't have a selected scene of this movie, and I think that's what makes it kind of a beautiful movie. And that, like,
it just flows.
It just flows. It's constantly moving you to the next joke. It's not taking time in any.
I'll give it that. Yeah.
You know, it's a very cut through. The only parts that you really stop and like are able to really collect yourself is when they intentionally leave you the time with the story at the end, where it's like these, you know, the brother and sister, you know, make up.
That part was pretty touching. That was kind of like another, like, older teenage to adult kind of target where it's like, oh, we remember what it was like to fight with siblings, you know, and like how you had to make up and whatever, and like, which why bring all that Lego set out into the yard, like you have that epic downstairs like what they had, like, rig lighting on their ceiling to light up the whole bottom thing.
This is one of the things that you missed for not having seen the first one. The story is that the dad was a super big Lego fan. He built these sets of Legos that were huge. He built huge cities.
Oh yeah, I saw this
meticulously.
in the back.
He planned them meticulously out and had this lighting, and because he loved it. He loved doing this meticulous, like, you know. And that was what it was. Is that it was his son fighting against.
Either way, that was.
They shouldn't have gone outside.
I was gonna say that's an insane downstairs setup.
I mean, they had so many Legos.
Oh my god, there was so many. When you actually see the real life version of the the apocalypse, whatever, where the Statue of Liberty, like, that's a real set that they had because the kid takes it apart. That's so many Legos. Like, it's so many. But yeah, why take your Legos outside?
It's just get dirty. You're gonna ruin your Legos.
When you're gonna lose them. Like,
I wouldn't really care.
They had loose pieces.
Yeah,
like,
true.
on the blanket.
Yeah, loose ones. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a mistake right there, kids. Don't lose your Legos.
Okay, like, you can carry it out with like you have the set already built, then you can carry it out and run around in the yard. But why, like, they had loose pieces on that blanket. Yeah. Like, yeah, but that brother sister part, that was more like, that was another more touching thing than I had expected because, well, one, I didn't know there was humans in the actual movie. So I didn't expect that. And then it was like, oh, like, okay, we're getting a little Pixar moment where it's like getting a little touching. And then, of course, you had to throw in the joke where the mom steps on the Lego. And
and then it happened a second time.
You can't make a Lego movie without, like, making that joke, though.
They didn't make it in the first one.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the whole joke, though.
Yeah.
It's like you stepped on a Lego. So.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Well, and they had, obviously... Well, and I mean, they had more humans than you said in the first one.
Yeah, because there were only 2 of them in the first one.
Yeah, so it makes sense that they would throw it in for this one.
They brought 2 more in for this one.
2 more humans?
Yeah. You didn't see the mom and you didn't see the sister in the first one.
Yeah, that part was unexpected. Just like the actual humans being in it. And then the kind of touching part. Because then it's not just like Lego pieces. Yeah, so it actually has a story to it. That's why I think that I don't like the Batman one as much. Because it just doesn't... It's like funny, but it was just another Batman movie, really. Yeah, really it is. But I mean, there was a bunch of good ones. Way different Batman. There was a bunch of good Batman jokes, where he was like, "Back where I came from, the darkness or whatever." Oh yeah. And then he's like, where I started. There's a bunch. Like, they actually named the Batman. Like, in the song, she said, "I don't like you even when you're Christian Bale." Then they said, West. West. Well, yeah, they named all of them actually because they said, and then Batman actually said, like, or no, they were talking about Clooney, and then Batman said that he's more of a Keaton fan, which then she said, I liked him a lot in Beetlejuice, which is another reference that I didn't even think would be in there, and then Beetlejuice, like, appeared in the background. Yeah, there was a lot of good Batman jokes, which makes me want to see the actual Lego Batman one, because like
I feel like Batman in these movies works a lot better. Batman in these movies, he's funnier in these movies than he is in his own movie.
Yeah, and he's allowed to just say whatever.
He's allowed to bounce off of people rather than in his own movie. He's really that dude. You know, he's that personality. Yeah. He's very obsessed with himself, and it's like, look, dude, I get it. You think you're awesome, you think you're badass, but it's like, dude, like, that's why I like him
when
in
he
these
blows
movies.
up the thing, and it's just like he slides down the light up, you're welcome.
Yeah,
it's like appears.
Yeah. God.
He seems funny though.
Can we talk about those little stars?
Oh yeah,
stars.
Whoever
in the hearts.
those, yeah. Whatever kid voiced those.
When that star is in the
oh yeah, and it's crying,
and it's like, oh, so cool.
He's like, oh, the pain.
Oh yeah. It was so adorable. I would open the door as well. But yeah, that was perfect. I love those little things.
Yeah, because it started with the hearts.
Yeah.
And then they brought in the stars too. And like when they're spinning and then it stops spinning, it's like, oh, I'm dizzy. And it throws up the glitter rainbow.
Oh man. Gosh, they were just, that's the thing about this movie is, yeah, I agree. It's kind of hard to talk about in the same way that it's kind of hard to like talk about your selected scene or to have one really, just because it's so streamlined, it's so quick.
It's just joke after joke after joke, yeah.
And it's funny because the beauty of it is it's kind of like Pixar, except it's entirely around not story building but just jokes, characters, more funny scenarios. So if you don't like one joke, another one's coming up very soon for you. You know what I mean? They spread it out very evenly.
In a lot of it, at least for me, like it seems like the kind of, I guess one of the downsides, almost like one of the downsides of why I didn't love it is because it did feel like that. Like, it's obviously because all movies are now like, here's your plot where it's like problem at the beginning and then the next character ends up solving it all the way through the end, whatever. Like, I could just feel that it felt like so much that the plot was being driven by what jokes they could make. Does that make sense? Like, okay. Like it was like they make a joke, then how could a joke lead off of that and affect something that we could make a joke from that from?
Mm-hmm.
So like
I can see that.
Yeah. So I mean, and there's no way of avoiding that because that's the type
how it works.
Movie.
It just has to go.
And it obviously works. It was funny and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But I wonder if that's why I didn't love it because I didn't feel like there was like a full story. It was just like a joke and then it would lead into another joke and then yeah, I don't know. I'm just like picking it apart, but
yikes. Okay, so Daniel did not like this movie.
Well, it's one of those ones that like
this was a 0 for Daniel.
It's one of those ones that I feel like I would just enjoy a lot if I just saw like a snippet of it. Like here's a group of jokes from the snippet. Like here's a centerpiece of the movie, and I just watch a 5-minute scene on YouTube, and it's like, oh, that was really funny, and then I just watch another one. Like I don't know. But come on.
I don't know how to respond to that. Not that it's not a good. It's not like I don't agree with it, or not that I don't think it's valid.
If you saw clips coming up of like
it'd be funny.
This joke from the Lego Movie 2, Part 2, the second part.
The second part, yeah,
not
part 2. God.
Then I just think it would be not funnier. I don't know.
It'd be more like palatable, acceptable. Not
because if it's like a 45-second little clip.
I mean, I totally see where you're coming from, and I think it's a totally valid opinion to have. It's hard to really react to that because I didn't feel this way. I felt
I was kind of just like, it was a lot for one movie.
It's kind of like in stand-up, when you get tired of laughing like halfway through, and
when
you're
hit
like,
the
God.
45-minute mark.
That's why I would never go to stand-up because I wouldn't be able to go to an actual stand-up place. I could watch it like a video of it, but I would never be able to go to it because I feel like I was trapped into actually listening to the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because I had came for the whole thing, and it's like
paid for it.
But when I'm laughing, I don't. Sometimes I want to be like, man, my cheeks hurt, man. I don't want to laugh anymore.
Yeah, that's what I feel like most comics say. Like, if you're doing an hour special, it's like 45 minutes is where you start to kind of lose people.
Yeah.
And like when I watch a special, I kind of feel it. Where I'm like, okay, I mean, as much I will absolutely love a comic as like for what I've watched their whole specials, all platforms, whatever. But like every time it's like that 45 minutes, like okay. my attention span is kind of starting to drop. Like, but I feel like that does relate back to this because it was just boom, 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 boom. But like it kept me going because of the visuals mostly.
Yeah. And then it started slowing down at the end, which is good. It knew itself and it started slowing down with that more of that.
That was another part though, which I have. It's probably becoming a trend on the show now, but I hate it when movies seem like they're going to end and then they don't. Like,
wait, what? When does that ever come up on the show?
That always comes up. I always say that. I said like, it feels like it's gonna end any minute now, and then it just doesn't. Yeah, I said that with Holmes and Watson. I said it with Glass. I'm sure I said it a number of times before that. Probably Jurassic World.
World, yeah, we agreed that it should have cut halfway through.
Yeah, I guarantee I said that for that. You can go back and fact check me. I'm probably wrong, but whatever. I hate that. I hate it when a movie is slowing down and then feels like it's gonna end. It's like, okay, I'm getting ready to stand up, watch some credits, and then get ready to go watch some credits, then stand up. But then they just pick it right back up, and then there's a whole another like 15 minutes left. And it just irritates me that movies do that. Like, just have a climax and then end the movie.
It was a comedy, dude. Not like a
but I mean, they all do that lately, and I don't get it. I don't get why we have to like have the like. There's like, what's the term for that in English? We learned that like there's like the climax and the downward slope, and then there's a little bump, and then it goes down. Like,
oh, dude. I never learned about the second bump.
I don't know, but there is.
It's like, conflict resolution is after the climax.
Yeah, but then there's like a second one that's not a climax, but it's the second one. And that just, I don't know, it just bugs me. I hate it. Dude. Because it seemed like it was going to end. I mean, not where they made the joke that it was going to end, because obviously they weren't going to end in a side note, it's a kid's movie. But,
I straight up thought they were going to.
For a split second, I was like, okay, they're making a third. Like, that's just what they're going for.
They're definitely going to make it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, that's what they're going for, is that, guys, we're going to make a third. Actually, for a split second, I was like, wow, they actually
They couldn't end it there, though. No. People would not, they would not make a third off of that ending.
No kid is going to be like, I'm happy with that ending.
Hey, I want to see the third one. It's like, wow, I hated that movie because I feel bad
They
now.
haven't seen, like, years of, like, TV that does that.
Torturous, sad, depressing stuff.
Like, they haven't seen like Breaking Bad, where every episode ends in a cliffhanger, and they have to wait for the next one. Like, kids that are seeing the Lego Movie,
especially because like shows are way more geared to that. You can't end on a cliffhanger on a movie.
Yeah, because a show will come out next week, and a movie comes out in the next 2 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially with CGI like this.
I really feel like I think that it's totally valid.
I'm also really playing into it. Like, to be fair, just for the sake of the show and argument. Like, I'm really playing into the fact that
I was sitting here like, damn, I loved this movie. Yeah. I literally loved this movie.
What movie did we do that for? Was that Solo? That I loved it, and you were just like, I don't know, man.
No.
Oh, Incredibles 2.
It was Incredibles 2. No, Incredibles 2 was the opposite. I hated that.
That's what I mean. Like, I was sitting here like, I loved it. What are you talking about? And then you're just like, I don't know, man. Just wasn't for me.
I also did that for Spider-Verse as well.
Oh yeah, but you're actually wrong about that. So
hey, at least I'm right about Incredibles 2. So
but I think that's what's so interesting about this, is that we can't just have two totally different perspectives, because like for me it's like I fully appreciate it. Like, I know that it was a great movie and that people loved it, and it was really funny. But it just wasn't. It didn't hit me just right. Like,
it's gonna really hit me for me to get into it.
Yeah. But you could hate on me like in comments or whatever and say, oh, it's because you didn't see the first one.
I'm gonna make some accounts. I'm gonna be hating on you.
I don't think I really needed to see the first one. I do want to see it now. I'll give them that.
Oh, well, there you go.
Like, they just in terms of just from like I'm not an artist, but from an artistic perspective, I like what they did with it. Like, watching Lego, because like obviously we grew up on Legos.
Oh, yeah.
Like whatever. So seeing them alive, it's kind of the same thing as like what they say with Marvel nowadays is like, oh, seeing these characters alive on screen. It's kind of like that, seeing these Legos move like Legos, but like real life put on a screen. Like, they did sell me on it. Like, I'd like to see the first one and the Batman one. I just didn't get around to it for the first one. But yeah, they definitely sold me on it.
Yeah.
Well, sold me on wanting to see it. I shouldn't see sold me on the movie. But, Just the whole idea that there is a Lego movie is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like, obviously they've been around for a long time.
Seriously.
But it's crazy to me that they can just... Like, it's the ultimate marketing.
It really is.
Like,
it's super smart.
It's literally a product that these kids will watch and want to go get more of.
Do you think that Lego sponsors these movies?
What do you mean sponsors?
Like, do you think that they pay them money to make these movies?
Well, yeah, that's how studios work.
Well, do you think Lego pays them it themselves?
Well, okay, it depends.
Because it's one thing to...
It depends. It depends if the studio came to them and was like, we want to buy your rights, then the studio would be paying Lego. Or it depends if it started with Lego saying, we want to make a movie, so we're going to pay a studio to make it for us.
Okay, or what about
Because Lego
this?
obviously can't make a movie because they're a product company. So I think it depends on which route it went.
What if it went the first route, and then Lego was like, listen, we love this so much, it worked out so well the first movie, we're going to actually give you money to help this movie.
Well, they wouldn't do that.
Why would they not?
Because if someone's coming to you and saying, hey, I'll do this thing for you, why would, hey, I'm just coming to you with a project that I'll do for you. Then you wouldn't just be like, oh, okay, here's $6 million for you to do. Like,
hey, man, listen.
Like, the way that the way that they would get paid is in the revenue. So that, like, Lego would just share less revenue with the studio.
They're not sharing revenue with these movies.
That's how studios make
Wait,
money.
really? Wait.
Okay, if a
Am I being dumb right now?
studio came to Lego and was like, we'll make a movie about Lego for you.
Okay.
Lego would be like, great, if you're doing all the work. Then Lego would get, I don't know, 35% revenue, and they would get the rest.
And the biggest scam, if that's the case, because again, I may just be being dumb here because I'm not a businessman. Apparently, I don't know how business works because I pay someone $6 million for something they do for free, but. They're even making more money with the sets of these movies. The Lego Movie, the Lego Movie 2, all these things. They're making bank
that's what I'm saying. It's like...
It's not even just the revenue from the movie.
Yeah. Because it's the ultimate marketing, like, process. It's like, you're not just making an ad that you put on TV. You're, like, making a box office movie that will make $1 billion and then also sell $6 billion worth of sets.
Forget Jeff Bezos. Who the hell owns Lego?
It's pretty crazy that that's even a thing, especially just from growing up. We used to just build sets.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay, and then when they got the right to, like, Star Wars and Harry Potter sets, it was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Like,
now all of a sudden.
But now we have, which I do wonder, obviously we have the Lego Harry Potter, Lego Star Wars, Lego Indiana Jones video games. I wonder if they do have a plan somewhere deep down to make this Lego CGI animated of those stories. Like, how we're getting, like, Star Wars spin-offs like Solo?
Yeah.
I wonder if they're thinking somewhere we'll make a spin-off like Batman, like the Lego Batman movie.
Yeah.
It's not part of this Batman universe or this Batman universe. It's its own totally different thing, but it's still Batman. Like, I wonder if they're, like, somewhere they're thinking, like, we can make a new Indiana Jones movie, but Lego, but, like, doesn't have to be Harrison Ford voicing it, doesn't have to be any of these people, because that's what Alden Ehrenreich got a bunch of crap for, like, not doing Han Solo well enough or whatever. Like, you wouldn't have to worry about that because it's just a Lego person, I wonder if they're kind of thinking about that.
Okay, first off, fuck anyone who says that about that dude. Solo was a masterpiece. Second off, more to this, what you were mentioning. I know they're doing that. Dude, if they are not, they should be. Because
well, it depends on the rights.
I was just thinking about that. Yeah, what happens if they did a Harry Potter? I mean, that would not happen. Let's be honest. They're not going to be able to do a Harry Potter movie.
Oh, they probably could. J.K. Rowling's, like, just up for anything now.
That's right.
That's why
she's
Fantastic
just
Beasts is out. She's like,
true.
whatever.
So she'd be like, oh yeah, sign me up as long as I get money.
If it was some sort of...
If they made a comedy of...
Well, I don't know about comedy.
I think it would be a really good hit. I think it'd be...
A Harry Potter comedy.
Yes.
We're not even talking about the movie anymore.
And we're just talking about Lego and the amount of money that they could be raking in at this point.
But I do wonder, because that'd be pretty cool. I would 100% pay freaking $50 for a Lego Indiana Jones movie.
I'd rather a Star Wars movie.
I played that game to death. And to see a movie of it,
When we are so derailed off of our original point, we have just abandoned.
Did you notice how good Chris Pratt was in this movie?
Oh yeah, he played two people.
Yeah.
Did you notice?
But one person.
Okay, way to metagame me there. Okay, jeez. Man, I found it hilarious the credits, the song and the credits
song at the end.
when they're talking about the voice actors and they're talking about like, oh, they have such a hard job, they have to work up to 4 hours a day, and then I was like, like you said, self-aware. It's a very self-aware movie.
Yeah, it really is, like, more than I thought it would be, especially because it's like a kids movie.
Oh yeah.
Well, I guess you can kind of throw that in, and from
kids are really easy to
give the parents some humor and all that
yeah.
stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Overall, like, I definitely enjoyed it. Like, it wasn't not fun.
Of course you did.
But
obviously you did.
It's like I said, I'm not gonna be rewatching it like anytime soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. I can totally see why people love it. It was funny, and I'll definitely like look at clips online about it in like, I don't know, a couple weeks. I'll be like, oh yeah, that joke was funny.
I'm gonna be looking up the soundtrack from this movie.
Yeah,
I want to hear every one of these tracks because it was amazing. I loved every second of the music of this movie. It's beautiful. It made my week, quite honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't mean to be like that guy, but
you're being that guy.
It's kind of late now. But
don't be acting like you're trying to avoid it. You've been leaning into the skid.
You're not understanding me.
He just hates the movie and he needs you all to agree. That's all.
It was really good. It was really good, and it was funny.
It feels like you're backtracking on everything you're saying, and then you go back.
I mean, I'm allowed to have parts where I'm like, I didn't like that.
No one's giving you that right.
I didn't like. I think that was Tiffany Haddish as the voice of the Queen, whatever. I didn't like her character either. She bugged me.
She was alright. She was bearable.
It was just like,
wasn't the worst character.
I didn't like the backtrack of like, oh, we're singing a song about how I'm not evil, but really I'm actually not evil, because it was like supposed to be, oh, you're not supposed to listen to her, but then it was right. I don't know. It just bugged me.
See, this is my favorite part about watching movies. When I'm just watching it, I turn my brain off. All the points where it's like, oh, this is so obvious they were leading us this way so that they could really lead us that way. I just go for the ride. I'm moment to moment. Like,
sometimes I do. Like a lot of times, that'll happen where I won't notice something or whatever. Yeah, I mean, it happens sometimes, but I don't know.
I'm just better at it than you. I'm better at turning my brain off than you.
But it depends on what movie.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it definitely does.
I'm way better at it.
Incredibles 2, I was just enjoying the ride, and you were like, this movie's so slow.
Okay, that's the one.
Oh, this is like, this is annoying. Oh,
okay,
I don't like this whole family drama. Like,
no, that's not at all what I said. If you want to know what I said, go to Incredibles 2 and listen to it. Holy.
Any final thoughts? I mean, I know you liked it, but anything?
Freaking loved it.
Yeah.
It's my favorite movie of 2018. I can't believe it beat Sherlock and
2019.
Holmes. Damn it! I've already screwed up.
Well, and technically Sherlock Holmes came out in 2018. It came out on Christmas Day.
Okay, are you just gonna be a killjoy of?
Wait, I said Sherlock Holmes. It's Holmes and Watson.
Oh yeah, Holmes and Watson. Yeah. Well, I messed it up. I messed you up.
Yeah. If you want to hear how bad Holmes and Watson was, then we got an episode on that too.
I love this movie. It was a great laugh. Great time to just chill out, relax, and it was just a lot of fun. I'm gonna have a huge fun time rewatching it because I know that there's a lot of things I missed, and
that's true. Yeah. Like especially with most of those quick jokes, kind of towards the middle-ish.
Yeah, when it was kind of getting a little rapid fire.
Yeah. Same with like right at the beginning too, where it's like setting up the world again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand that, but that's what I meant by like, I'll just watch a clip or something. Like I don't want to have to watch the whole movie again. But,
whew.
Yeah, if you guys want to let us know what you thought of the Lego Movie 2 Part 2.
The second part.
Dang it. You can let us know at our email, themidnightshowingpod@gmail.com. Our Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube are all the same at The Midnight Showing, and our Twitter is backwards at Showing Midnight. So let us know. I don't want to say whose side you're on, because I feel like I'm definitely in the minority. But
you're afraid to get stomped by
No, I enjoyed it. You know,
The
whatever.
second part hype.
The second part. I keep wanting to say part 2.
Yeah.
I wonder when part 3 is gonna come out. Well, and
I mean the third part. You're screwing it up again.
what did I say?
You said the part 3.
Oh, maybe they'll call it part 3 by then.
If they call it part 3, I'm not seeing
Part 3, the third part. The Lego Movie 3. No, the Lego Movie Part 3, the third part. I'm down. I'm waiting for that. 2020.
Now, if they name it that, I'll see it.
Oh yeah, we're doing an episode on the Lego Movie 3. No, the Lego Movie Part 3, the third part.
We'll be the first ones there, on the spot, ready to go with our instant reaction to the movie.
Okay, see you next time.
Bye.